we have known and believed the love that God has for us. God is love, and he who abides in love abides in God, and God in him. Love has been perfected among us in this, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in the world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear involves torment. But he who fears has not been made perfect by love. We love him because he first loved us. If someone says, "I love God," and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother, who he has seen, how can he love God, who he has not seen? And this commandment we have from him, that he who loves God must love his brother also. Recently I ran across a YouTube near-death experience video clip of a woman who was shown 2025, 2026, 2027, and it dealt with the issue of unforgiveness and how God is going to deal with those who cannot forgive in those years. It bore witness with my spirit. I just felt I should share it with you, so here it is.
Summoning my courage, I approached one of the groups and found a spot to sit among them. As I joined the group and listened to the man in white, he began to speak of the future, specifically the year 2025. As he did, a vivid vision unfolded before us. I saw scenes of the world, familiar yet transformed by events yet to come. There was a sense of both hope and foreboding. The vision showed advancements and achievements, but also great challenges and upheavals. He addressed the subject of unforgiveness. He explained that in the year 2025, those who harbored unforgiveness in their hearts towards family, friends, colleagues, or any others would face a dire consequence. The spirit of death will loom large, he said. It will come for those burdened by unresolved grudges and bitterness. As the man in white continued to reveal what lay ahead, I saw families torn apart by grief, their homes filled with an overwhelming sense of loss. I saw spouses mourned the sudden departure of their partners, and communities gathered to bury their dead. Among the scenes of mourning, I saw the faces of brilliant, intelligent people, scientists, doctors, artists, and leaders whose lives were cut short. Their potential, their contributions to the world were abruptly ended. The loss of their wisdom and talents left a void that was deeply felt. These individuals had so much to offer, yet their inability to forgive had sealed their fate. It was tragic. The vision shifted to a place where souls were lined up, awaiting their turn for accountability. Each soul was in regret and sorrow, understanding now the importance of forgiveness too late. The line seemed endless, each person stepping forward to face their judgment. The final part of the vision was the most harrowing. I saw those souls who had failed to forgive being sent to a place of torment. Hell was not just a fiery abyss, but a realm of suffering and despair. The cries of anguish echoed all around. The man in white wept as he watched, his tears mingling with those of the condemned. As the vision of torment and suffering lingered, the man in white began to speak again. His voice was heavy with emotion, and tears streamed down his face. It was clear that the pain of witnessing such suffering deeply affected him. He wept for the missed opportunities for love and forgiveness, for the lives lost to bitterness and hatred. Through his tears, the man in white began to speak about love, specifically the importance of loving Jesus. He explained that true love for Jesus transcends all other forms of love. It is a love that calls for selflessness, forgiveness, and compassion. He emphasized that loving Jesus means following his teachings, embodying his spirit of love and grace in our daily lives. It means letting go of grudges, embracing others with an open heart, and living a life that reflects his divine love. As he spoke, it dawned on me who this man in white truly was. This was Jesus, standing before us, teaching and guiding with a heart full of love and compassion. The realization hit me like a wave, filling me with awe and reverence. The peace and authority he exuded, the depth of his wisdom, and the tenderness of his tears all made sense now. I was in the presence of the Son of God, the embodiment of divine love and forgiveness. After the profound revelations about 2025, I noticed another group gathering nearby, their attention fixed on the man in white as he began to address them. With a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, I moved towards this new group, hoping to understand more about what lay ahead. The man in white began to speak again, this time revealing the events of 2026 and 2027. The visions that unfolded were even more harrowing than before. I saw scenes of natural disasters, wars, and widespread suffering. The world seemed to be in chaos, with communities torn apart by conflict and despair. The anguish and fear on people's faces were heart-wrenching. In these visions, I saw the consequences of continued unforgiveness and selfishness. Amidst these terrible visions, the man in white's voice rose with a call to repentance. He urged everyone to turn away from their sins, to forgive one another, and to embrace a life of love and compassion. His message was clear. The future could be changed if people heeded this call. The path to redemption lay in forgiveness, humility, and a renewed commitment to living according to divine principles. As I absorbed the weight of his words, I felt a pressing need to share his urgent call for forgiveness with my fellow Christians.